All right, welcome back to another Class&Cool adventure. We are on the November Monsters and Memories playtest. Yay, we finally made it. Yeah, that was probably super loud. I apologize for blowing out your eardrums. You may know me, may not. I'll do a quick introduction and we'll get started. My name is Class&Cool. I like classically inspired MMORPGs, but also variety stuff, like cool stuff, you know, that's may or may not be an MMORPG. Monsters and Memories is a spiritual successor to games like classic World of Warcraft, classic EverQuest, classic MMORPGs like Dark Age of Camelot, and yeah, it's some cool stuff. Monk Beans, what's up, man? He said, what up, son, in the chat. What up, son? So yeah, 10-day playtest going on for Monsters and Memories, currently in its alpha state. After that, they plan on closing up shop for a bit and going into beta, closed beta. And then around Q1 of 2026, they plan to go into early access. If you've never heard anything about this team, it's built up of some very cool people. Sean, aka a Loving Robot, which is his Twitch name. He used to be an EverQuest dev back in the old days, like early 2000s, but he has a lot of industry experience, and a lot of the other folks that he's working with have a lot of MMO experience. They've been building this game for a few years now, completely what do you call it, freaking free, you know, basically building the game on their own dime, all volunteers, while still working full-time jobs. So this is definitely a passion project. So far everybody's loving it, got a lot of hype. So if you haven't checked it out already, go check it out. For everyone else, let's get into it. Yeah, we're gonna be playing on the Wood Elf Druid today. Hopefully I still remember how to play. Actually, I don't remember how to play. It's been I think the last playtest was in September. What month? Okay, so no playtest in October. Yeah, September playtest was my last one. So we're in November now. And yeah, they've been adding a lot of stuff. I think it's morning right now. They've been adding a lot of stuff, doing a lot of stuff. Dan Molina, what's up, man? I see you. This is their version of Kelethin, but it's not Kelethin. It's Kelethic. Get it? Kelethin. Okay, never mind. So anyways, let's get into it. What happened to my audio? Oh, that might help. Terrible transitions. Yeah, I've been rusty. I haven't done a stream. I haven't done a stream or a playtest or anything in a minute. So first things first, let me check my inventory because I don't remember a thing. I think they added a feature where you can scale. Whoa, look at that. You can scale the crap out of this thing. I actually like it big. I had a joke coming right after that, but I'm just gotta keep it PG. Let's see here. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I kind of like that. I love the designs that they're doing over here. Look, and you can hide it too. I'm actually gonna hide my stats because I have them right down here. Monk Bean said that's what she said. There you go. You took the words right out of my mouth. Oh gosh, this is quickly devolving into a degenerate stream. I'm not gonna pull an Asmongold and roach out on you guys. Oh, okay, so I get it now. It's nighttime. This zone is so dope, man. And they got the orbs working now. So these little will-o-wisp things. Yeah. Anyways, I hope everybody's been good. I'm excited to be back. Not sure how long I'm going to be on tonight, but you know, we've got 10 days for this playtest. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to trickle in a little bit throughout the week, maybe every day, maybe every other day. But I'm excited for early access, guys. Like, I'll be honest. So I have access to their closed alpha testing. They've been giving out a lot of codes. So like Nick, I think it's Nick Hots, Nick HOTS on Twitch. He's one of the main devs alongside a loving robot, and they've been giving out a lot of keys, alpha keys. So if you ever want to get in on the alpha action, you should definitely go check out his stream. They do a lot of giveaways. But anywho, I said all that to say, so I've had access to the alpha testing, and I was in there a lot in the beginning, but then I got really busy with real life stuff. So yeah, I've kind of been tapering off Monsters and Memories for a bit. And the main reason is I'm one of those people that, I mean, I'm not here to consume all the content. Like when this game goes live, whenever it releases, not early access, but like 1.0 live, like I'm gonna take it slow. Like I don't plan on rushing to max level. I'm not gonna min max. Like I'm a casual dude. I'm a casual working class dude, and I wouldn't even call myself a gamer. Like I'm just gonna log in, do some stuff, log off, and go to sleep. Wake up, go to work, and repeat. So, and that's when 1.0 launches. So you can imagine that right now in alpha, I'm not trying to learn everything. I'm not trying to see everything. Like I'm pretty much just trying to see, is there a vibe? Oh, there is? Okay, cool. Can I vibe out with whatever content is currently in the game? I can? Okay, cool. Let me do that. So I probably completely forgot how to play. So let's take a look at our spells. So we got Moonflame. What is that? Unleash Moonflame. So what is this? Dealing one. Okay, so this is direct damage. Moonfire. Is this also direct damage? This is also direct damage, right? Okay, so this is like an upgraded version of that. I got it. Oh, I remember. I don't have my I don't have my dot. I need to buy. Let me check my spell book. Maybe I didn't buy it yet. Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm only level 4. Yeah, so we're just starting out. So let's go level up. Monk Bean said I'm updating my client now. I may hop in for a bit. Dang, man, that would be awesome. That'll be like your first time logging in in probably over a year. Okay, so I got a couple bags. What is this? I got a satchel, another. Well, let me organize this stuff. Got a pouch. Trainees. This. Okay, I got it. Cool. Monk Bean said, I hop on the alpha from time to time just to see what's new. I'm like you, man. You don't want to get spoiled. No, I'm the same way. Yeah, I mean, we're the same way in that regard. It's just, I'll come in, like if I go into the alpha, I'm actually trying to test stuff. Like I'm trying to find like glitches and bugs and like where am I falling through the ground. I have 2 copper. Yeah, I just gotta level up. Fight some mobs. But yeah, log in, maybe level a little bit, see how the spells feel. If anything feels like it needs to be made stronger or whatever, but there's this little thing here. Let me get rid of that. Oh, I feel like they increased the speed of the lift, which is good. Let me see if they did they add damage, fall damage. Oh, yeah, they did. I'm dead. Well, that's good to know. So fall damage is in the game. That's good. That's new. And 115 damage. Yeah, so that's definitely classic. Look at this, man. This is so tight. Hold on, let me turn this off. Let me move out the way really quick. Yeah, they're definitely nailing it. I mean, this is probably what Kelethin looked like to me when I was a kid. When I was like 13 back in 1999 playing EverQuest for the first time, this is probably what I thought it looked like. But this is like 10 times better. I'm glad that they kept like the classic painted art style, but it's really working out. I also noticed they've been doing a lot of texture work, and I got into a little discussion with some dude on my Discord recently, and he's like, man, I really hope they work on upgrading this and upgrading that. And it's like, for anyone else wondering, it's like they've been doing that. The problem is when you're developing a game for free, you don't have resources that even indie, like, I wouldn't even call them indie devs. Like, indie devs usually, if they're going out to develop a game, they have some kind of money, you know, like GoFundMe or whatever you call it. And in this case, they haven't taken a dime. So what I'm saying is, by the time early access comes out, I'm going to turn this up only for you guys, because I know on stream it just looks black. So this way you can actually see what's going on. When they go into early access, you know, they're going to have a flat sub fee, no microtransactions. So at that point, they're actually going to receive funding. So yeah, they're going to be able to do a lot more texture work. They can outsource stuff, you know. It's a lot easier to develop a game when there's money involved, right? The problem is a lot of people take your money, half-ass develop a game that sucks and it's not fun. It has Unreal 5 and it looks very pretty, but it looks like every other Unreal 5 engine game. And then the game is dead on release, you know. In this case, the game isn't even close to being finished, and it's already very fun. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. The music, for anyone wondering, it's by Robert Engstrand. He's a super cool dude. I think he's living in Sweden, but very cool dude. And if you listen to the music, it kind of sounds like a combination of like Kelethin and like EverQuest and World of Warcraft. But it's got a very unique thing about it. So they added chat tabs, so now you can do that. I should probably switch this up. Hold up. I guess I should just put all my gameplay stuff in here. Yeah. There you go. Okay. Oh, right. I forgot. I died. I need to actually memorize spells. I'm over here like running around like I'm about to start attacking things. So on the top left, you'll see sheltered, shaded, and rested. So you get a rested buff by sitting in city inns and places like that. And it looked like running underneath of these platforms that gives me also a shaded or sheltered thingy-mabobber. All right, let's memorize some spells. So we'll memorize that. And if the music or the sound is too loud, y'all can let me know. I'm gonna put wood skin over here. This guy's name is Nickelbark, like Nickelback. All right, so we got... I just memorized like most of them. I know I don't need 90% of this, like minor heal. I probably should just get rid of that and leave lesser heal. But I'm gonna basically teach myself how to play again. So we're gonna met up and then go. "10 days, by the way, is the longest playtest they've ever had. So I think the September playtest was 7 days. The June or July or whatever playtest was 5 days. And then this is their 10-day playtest. Community alpha playtest, which is the longest playtest they've ever had. So they did do a stress test a few weeks ago. And... They were able to get 1,000 people in one zone. So Night Harbor, it's like the kind of like the Freeport City, you know, major hub spot. When they ran the stress test, they were able to get 1,000 people in, and everything still worked. Like the server didn't crash. People were still able to run around, fight mobs, memorize spells, loot, go to the bank, or interact with NPCs. Like everything still worked. Now it wasn't perfect. Everything by the time it hit 1,000 people in the zone, it was like not. I wouldn't say it was like it wasn't. It just wasn't. It wasn't a slideshow. Like you could still do everything, but there was like a delay, kind of like a little bit of rubber banding, I guess is the best way I could describe it. But my point is that's 1,000 people in a zone. Like no MMO does that. World of Warcraft doesn't do that. EverQuest doesn't do that. There's no other MMO I can think of that does that. Which means, WoW is a great example. WoW caps it at 200 people in a zone, and then they do shards. So it's like the same zone, but if there's more than 200 people in that zone, then sure, you're still in the same zone, but it's a different instance of that zone. And every MMO does this for like compatibility, like reliability reasons, right? What they're trying to do here is they're trying to avoid all that instancing stuff. They just want to make the game capable of handling that many people. Now, they'll probably never have 1,000 people in a single zone unless they're having like a GM event, right? But being able to accomplish that with their Unity engine and with their code base and everything is going to come in handy for raids. It's going to come in handy for events. And it's just gonna make it more fun. Like the world is gonna be so massive. Like the zones, I would say, like feel like they're 5 to 10 times bigger than traditional EverQuest. Like Night Harbor alone is like feels like 4 free ports put together. Like Freeport meaning like north, east, west, like all 3 of those zones, mash them together and then multiply that by 4. Like it's a huge zone. It has like 4 different noob yards. It's massive, right? And like this whole area right here is massive too. So you have like the city, which just keeps going, but then you have all these other areas. Yeah. So you probably will never need to shove 1,000 people in a zone, but it's good to know that they have the technology to accomplish it, should they need it. Alright, so I want to fight these dudes. I noticed when you cook their meat, you get a lot of money. So let me try not to aggro. Just want to aggro one at a time. Dang, why are they bunched up like that? They're moving around like a squad. What is this? Novice icon of gatekeep. Oh, okay. It's one of my spell items. Okay, I'm gonna take this dude. These are casters too, so I gotta be careful. No, don't heal yourself. That's what I can't stand about these dudes. They start healing and it starts getting annoying. Okay, he didn't drop anything. Oh, did they add so one thing I've been asking them, well, not me, but in general that we've been asking for them to add is shortened text for like combat, and it looks like it's not in yet. What about the note? Okay, one other thing I've been asking the devs to do is to add little tabs here, so like on the notepad you can create as many tabs as you want. So if you're listening, guys, get her done, man. Nah, I'm just playing. You guys got more important stuff to build. I did notice like snare. There's an actual effect. You see now underneath this dude, there's a little thing. That's new. And it looks like the spell effects really got upgraded. I cast the wrong one. There you go. Yes, I got some meat and I got some armor. Heck yeah. That's the benefit of fighting the humanoid mobs, is they almost always have armor. Yoink. Oops, I'm not attacking him. Nice. Alright, I'm gonna met up a little bit. Ooh, wait a minute. Take the skelly really quick. No, everything feels great, man. Everything feels snappy and good. I'm really enjoying this. Like, I'll get busy with life and doing other stuff, and I'll ask myself this question, like, do I really feel like logging in to play a game? And this is like any game. This is not just Monsters Memories. It's EverQuest. It's, Turtle WoW or something like that, or anything else. I'm like, yeah, I gotta log in, and then I gotta play and do this stuff. I'm like, oh gosh, this sounds so tedious. And then, you know, same thing, like with Monsters and Memories, I've been really busy, and I'm like, do I really want to log into the alpha, the closed alpha? I'm like, I'll pass, right? And I kind of felt that way about this playtest. We're having the 10-day playtest, and I'll be honest, like, I've got so much other stuff going on that I almost didn't do this stream. But the funny thing is, now that I'm in the game, I'm like, okay, I'm hooked. Like, I don't want to do anything else right now. I said at the beginning of the stream, I'm like, you know, guys, just to prepare you, I might just do very short streams for the next 10 days. But like, as I'm staring at my screen, I'm like, all right, I'm in my brain, I'm like, I want to do this, that, the third. And it turns into like 4 hours later, it's like, oh, it's time to wake up for work. Crap. Oh, that's my ride. Yeah, I agree with you. The user man said that's an outstanding, gorgeous looking forest city. Heck yeah, dude. It really is. I'll turn my gamma back down. Actually, I'm gonna keep it at 70 for this. I don't want to blow it out, but I've rewatched the VODs before, and if I don't turn the gamma up, YouTube just makes things super dark looking, like much darker. Like on my screen, it's not that dark. I keep everything at default. But yeah. Whoa. What the heck? We just had an earthquake, folks. That was pretty cool. All right, let's go to an inn. Like I said, if you go to an inn or you go to a campfire, it gives you a rested buff after a few minutes, which is going to boost how much XP you get. So there you go. See this little fire thing? Warmth of the hearth. That right there is a sign that you're getting a rested buff. And right here on the top left, it says 1 minute. So that's like how long the buff is going to last. So we're going to wait until it's at 20. Did they stop? Oh, nice. They upgraded this. There wasn't a merchant here before. Hello, darling. That music, I love it. Gets me every time. Oh yeah, so let me show you guys what I was talking about really quick, since we're over here anyways. If I try to sell this meat right now, pay attention to how much money it gives me. So I get 5 copper, right? Not a lot of money. But watch what I do when I cook it. So what is this? Raw wood elf meat. So we're going to type wood elf. So we're going to cook it. Craft. Boom. Now we got some cooked wood elf meat. And now boom, 25 copper. That's what I'm talking about. Monk Beans, I'm on Rel. He said, Monk Beans said, what server are you on? I'm on Rel. I'm in the Wood Elf city of Faelindral. Alright, we're gonna chill right here while we met up. Too bad, the userman said, too bad live CC isn't on. I'm deaf, but I sure do enjoy the visualization. Live closed captioning isn't on? Interesting. Is that a thing I can add or change? Hold on. Yeah, let me see what that's about. Hold up. Let me mute my... Interesting. I thought it would be on by default as an option. Let me check settings. Yeah, for anyone that is hard of hearing, I would think that there's a way. Hold on, let me just see. So if I'm watching the stream, subtitles, closed captioning unavailable. Yeah. So I see what he's saying. So, the heck? Hold on. So, right here. See right here? It is not working. Yeah, so he's right. Why does YouTube do that? Sorry guys, I'm just gonna check this out. Standard automatic dubbing. Comments. Show how many viewers. Allow automatic play. Allow chapters and key movements. Allow automatic concepts. That's interesting. Okay. Live chat replay, live chat summary, leaderboard. Who can send messages, live reaction. No, yeah, it doesn't give me an option for that. That's so freaking weird. That's a YouTube thing. That's weird. Okay. All right. Let me go back. Sorry, man. Sorry, I tried. Alright, so that didn't work, but that's some homework for me to do next time. Make sure that there's a way for closed captions, live closed captions, to be done. So, thank you. Alright, so, Vontae, what's up, man? He said, howdy, y'all. Howdy, howdy. Alright, so we got our arrested buff. And we're just gonna go back and kill some stuff. Monk Beans, I wonder if he's on. Who all? Wait, no, it's not Monk Beans. What the heck is his name? My brain's not working. I'm trying to remember what my friend's name is and I can't remember. That's a nice name. I love the bird. Oh, yeah, let me see. If it's who I think it is. Who all Jester. No, he's not in the game yet. Vontae said, what a great day. Level 1 to 6 on my new ranger. Hey, congrats. That's awesome, dude. The userman said ranger or druid class. Druid. Druid. Zoom out. You know what I don't like about OBS is why can't I chat inside of OBS? Why make it complicated? I've been thinking about switching from OBS to something else for a while now, like Streamlabs or whatever it's called. I remember I used Streamlabs before, like a long time ago, but I went with OBS because I'm like, no, I want the Photoshop of streaming. I don't want the easy to use one. Let me make it harder on myself. Or Stream Elements or something like that. And yeah. I'm wasting my rested buff. Let's go kill stuff. Okay. Tell Jester. Yo, yo, yo. Yeah, that's my boy. Jester is in the building. Vontae said, glad to see you back to streaming, bud. I hope you're enjoying it as much as we have been. Oh, I am. I sure am. I was just talking about that. I was just talking about how, like, I didn't even want to log in and do this. Just because I've been, like, so busy with stuff. And now that I'm in here, I don't want to log off. It's hilarious how that works. Nice. Man, we're doing great right now. All right, let's find some more of these suckers. Yeah, the userman said swallow. LOL question mark. Yeah, I thought the same thing. I'm sure he meant the bird. The bird. Oh, does this guy need a heal? Yeah, let's heal this dude. You look alright. Hold on. Boom, like that. That's the heal over time. Kaneko, do you need a heal too? Yeah, let's give you a heal. Okay, boom. You guys are healed up. Happy hunting. Do you need a heal? Nah, you're good. Bellstone Scout. Churchill. Huh, that's a nice pet name. Alright. I hear you, man. I had to log off. Work comes too early for me. That's what Bonte said. Nah, I feel you, dude. It is a real problem. And honestly, like, for me, it's just streaming is just like an extra step, you know? Because I've got like this perfectionist, like OCD-ness about like needing to do it just right. The audio has to be just right. Everything has to be just right. And sometimes it takes a lot more work than it should. Okay, let's turn this back to... This is the default gamma, now that it's daytime. Yeah, it's just... It's fun to like play, but when you also have to stream it, it's a lot to think about. Especially if you haven't done a stream in like a month, you know? You forget how everything works. You forget how to play. I still have that problem with EverQuest. Even all these years later, I'll log into like Quorum or P99, and I'll have to like spend the first hour remembering how to even play. Alright, don't heal. Don't you heal yourself. Nice. What? Didn't I snare you? Why are you moving around so fast? Dude, he's still running around. No, don't you dare. Oh, gosh. I don't know how that happened. I missed every single shot. Maybe I didn't have my attack on. I've done that before. Okay, cool. We're getting ammo. We're getting armor, so that's good. We're getting some decent XP. There's a lot of people down here. Cool. All right, we're just going to enjoy the sunrise for a minute. I'm going to refill my coffee mug. I'll be right back. Oh, wait a minute. I hear you, man. I had to log off. Bonte said, I'm called in a night, though. Calling it a night though. Sippy, my wife, says hi and good night too. Have a great one, bud. Thank you, brother. Vontae, you're the greatest. And say hello to Sipsy for me as well. I'll see you on the next one. Vontae said, good night, Monk Beans. I see you, bro. Yeah, he's in here. I told him, I was like, you know what? Monk Beans, you should log in so you can moderate the chat. Because I need you to ban some people today. I'm trying to get my first ever ban. I still haven't had the pleasure of banning anyone. I'm like, please let me ban someone. Nah, I'm just playing. I had no idea Monk was going to be on here. But I'm glad he's here. I joke too much. All right, I'll be right back. Need my coffee. That's funny. Carlos said, uh-oh, those rascals out there. And then Monk Bean said, I'll be the band hammer. So I was joking, but it's funny just to even think or talk about it, because when I got into the one thing about streaming, or the misconception I had about streaming is I thought that immediately, as soon as I started streaming, I'm like, I'm probably gonna get like trolls, and I'm probably gonna get like just freaking a-holes and stuff like that. Like basically, I thought there was a lot of toxic people on the internet, and I'm sure there are. But I couldn't be more wrong, because I started streaming, so we're in 2025, 2024, I started November 2023. So what prompted me to make this channel was Monsters and Memories was doing a playtest, and I've been wanting to start a EQ, like Project Quorum P99 channel for like the longest time. And then I was like, after playing Monsters and Memories and loving it, I was like, nah, this is it. Like, Monsters and Memories is going to be the reason why I created a YouTube channel, right? So as I'm going through the process of making it and, getting my equipment and everything set up, I'm like, there's probably going to be trolls. There's probably going to be people that come in and just do nonsense. So from the very beginning, I made up in my mind that I'm just not going to tolerate it. Like there's not going to be I see your point of view. Like it's like, no, I adopted the mentality of I run the show, my audience. So I run the show, not my audience. So like I see streamers all the time where they bend and trip up because they don't want to offend their audience, or they literally will base their personality around what does their audience want. And I get it, they make money off of it. If I was making a lot of money, I would probably do the same thing. So I'm not going to pretend to be like I'm not going to pretend like I wouldn't do the same thing. If I was making $100,000 every 6 months from sitting on my butt, I'd probably watch what I would say, right? That's beyond the point. But my expectation was I was gonna start to ban people early on, like have random people come in here and start saying nonsense. I've never in the however many years I just told you I've been streaming, have I ever had that experience yet. So that was such a long-winded of saying something I could have said in like 2 sentences or literally 3 words. Nah, every single person has been chill. I feel like we have the chillest, nicest community ever. You guys are fun on stream and off stream. Because I talk to a lot of you off stream on the Discord. And yeah, man, you guys are the best. Somehow I keep turning off my auto attack, and that's why I keep running into this stupid issue. I don't know if you noticed it, but I keep doing that, and I need to stop it. All right, we're gonna run back to town. I'm gonna sell. I don't want this stuff. I don't even know what it's used for, so. Wait, that's my wood. No, I don't want to sell my wood. I need my wood. I want to get rid of that. Cooked. That's weird. I thought, oh yeah. I was like, I thought I had more wood, meat, wood elf meat. Okay. Yeah, so anyways, coolest community. All you guys are the best. Thank you for being cool. I'm only joking when I say like ban people. I've never had to ban anyone. Everyone's chill. If I ever do, I'll do it with joy and glee. Because by the way, here's my philosophy on that, because like somebody might listen to this and be like, dude, this guy's an a-hole. Think about it in real life. If you were hanging around with a group of people, or actually let's just say, if you went to Starbucks, right, and you were talking to some dude and he just starts being disrespectful, are you gonna keep talking to him? Are you gonna be like, oh, okay, oh yeah, you can, surely, I just met you and you can say whatever you want about me? No, you'll do one of two things. You'll either crash out, which hopefully you don't, or you'll do what most sane people would do and just be like, nah, we're done here, thank you, I'm out, and you'd walk away. Like, you wouldn't get mad, you wouldn't like, me personally, like, I'm past the point of getting mad. If I was like still in high school, yeah, I'd be like, say it again, but I'm not in high school anymore, right? So I'd probably just be like, no, we're done, and I'd walk away, right? So all I'm saying is, I'm looking at it in the same way I would look at it in real life, right? There's no difference between an online bully and a real life bully, so I don't know why like some people look at it that way, but you should never tolerate anyone disrespecting you in person or on the internet. The only difference is on the internet they feel entitled because they're hidden behind a keyboard, right? So I think that's why maybe people view it a little differently. I don't see a difference, right? So I think it's a very reasonable take to just not tolerate it. The second somebody comes in with any kind of nonsense, you just ban them, move on. How many people are there nowadays? I think 7 billion people. Alexa, what's the population of the world? As of February 26, 2025, 8.1 billion. That's how many people there are in the world. That's a lot of people, right? Hence why you should never tolerate somebody that doesn't Show respect. Ooh, wow. Fizzle Boop, you look so freaking cool. Look at this person, man. Can I inspect? Yeah, I want to inspect you, dude. Let me see. Yeah, that's what I used to love about EQ, man. You'd walk up to his, hold on, /inspect. Why can't I inspect? Am I not close enough? Is the gnome so short that I can't even? That's weird. Something's bugged. No, but let's just, that's tight. All played it out. Cool. Interesting. United Separatists. That's a cool guild name. Yeah, no more MTX gear. Carlos said, yeah, no more MTX gear. Imagine if like Sean just went on one day and be like, we've opened up our Monsters and Memories store. Buy your currency today. I would genuinely be like beyond pissed. I'd just be like, after everything we've been through, Sean, I watched so many streams and I'm like, we're like brothers. We are like brothers. We agreed on everything. And actually, I really do agree with that dude, like on some kindred spirit type stuff. But so I don't sound weird, it's not just him. It's Sukin, it's Nick, it's Goblin. Like every single one of these dudes that's developing the game, they're the people I would hang out with back in the 90s and 2000s. They're the exact same people. They're the ones we would sit around and like skateboard and be like, yeah, dude. That's exactly the type of people I remember growing up with, and we thought the same way back then, and we think the same way now, just with a little bit like maturity added to it. So the philosophy on the game development side, everything that they talking about, I'm like, yeah, I agree. Yep. Not everything, obviously. I'm sure there's a few things we can disagree on, but when it comes to microtransactions, that's one thing, that they're never going to do. And yeah, Carlos just said that would be the last day I'd log in. 100%. Doesn't matter how much I love Monsters and Memories. The day I log in and there's a little button to push on that says shop is the last time I'll ever play Monsters and Memories. That's why I don't play EverQuest Live. I stopped playing EverQuest Live in 2006. I was a senior in high school, 2006. I remember it. It was either 2006, 2007, sorry. But, yeah. I never looked back. Never played EverQuest again after that. Not EverQuest Live. I started emulating EverQuest pretty early on in life, actually. I think there was like a World Viewer app, I remember it, Hacker's Quest, and some other stuff. And we would tinker with that. And then also EQMU, which recently shut down because of all this lawsuit stuff with Daybreak. They really dropped the ball on that, man. They really messed up. Like, I never played The Hero's Journey, THJ. I was not interested in it. It's a very cool thing to play. It's not EverQuest, right? It's a variant of EverQuest, because one of the things that made EverQuest great was the slow, gradual progression, relying on other people. Like, I really don't like it when people say it's like, it's the best version of EverQuest. And it's like, no, it's a version of EverQuest where you can basically play solo, right? What made EverQuest great wasn't multi-classing and being impossible to defeat and being able to solo raid bosses. That's not what that's not what made EverQuest great back then, right? We already had games like that even in the 90s and 2000s, and maybe not massively multiplayer ones, but where you're the hero. 100%. That was literally the premise of like every RPG since the dawn of RPGs. What made EverQuest great was the slow progression, the world feeling alive, relying on other players, the class interdependency, all that stuff made EQ great. However, THJ was great because not a lot of people have time for that kind of stuff nowadays, or at least that's what people claim. Oh, I don't have time for this, I'm busy. Yeah, we're all busy, we get it. Kids, wife, job, there's a new generation of children that we can argue when we were kids, we weren't busy and we could sit around, and there's plenty of kids that sit around and can do exactly what we did in the 2000s, right? And just sit around and play all day. So the argument can go both ways. But let's just say you are busy and like THJ was your jam. The fact that they got rid of it the way they did, I think was a big L for THJ, because they could have easily come to some kind of agreement, and they chose to cannibalize their own player base. Because one thing I noticed about the Hero's Journey is a lot of those players were EQ Live players. Like a lot of the people that played THJ came from EQ Live. And the reason I know that beyond a reasonable doubt is because almost every single negative comment when all that legal stuff was happening, almost every single comment was like, I'm never logging in back. I'm deleting my EQ Live account. I'm never giving them another dime. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. Oh, you still play EQ Live? I'm like, I stopped playing EQ Live in 2006, 2007, like I just said, right? So it wasn't like the P99 or the Quorum community that was like super outraged. There was outrage, but I'm saying the vast majority of the people that were really outraged, and I'm talking about in the thousands, because there's not thousands upon thousands of P99 players. There's not thousands upon thousands of Quorum players. There are thousands upon thousands of either people that no longer play EQ at all that played THJ, and people that came from EQ Live that had a subscription but canceled it after that legal stuff happened with THJ. So my point is, that community is the one that got hurt the most. The EQ Live players and the people that haven't played EQ in a long time, and they would have stuck around probably and paid a sub fee if Daybreak did something similar. So Daybreak, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, they're done. They shot themselves in the foot. They're not going to recover from this, and good riddance. They really messed up the EQ IP, and it's been messed up for a while, but they're just... I don't like speaking negatively about companies, but I mean, like, dang, they don't understand the vision of EQ. They don't understand what EQ is, what it was. It's just they're not part of our community as far as I'm concerned. That was a lot. All right, Carlos said TLP was a good arcade version of EQ. I played it. I'm sorry, let me hit this dude. TLP was good arcade version of EQ. I played it and... Sorry. TLP was a good arcade version of EverQuest. I played it to do all of the raid content I never got to do when EQ released. Exactly. Right? The Hero's Journey, the TLPs, all of that stuff is great. It gives you an opportunity to experience EQ in a way that you wouldn't have been able to do unless you had like a full group at all times. Like I can genuinely say, like, I'd rather solo in a lot of cases, and then I'll group on the weekends or something like that, right? So, yeah. It's an arcade version of EverQuest. Monk Bean said, EQ Zone Explorer. Yeah, exactly. I used to, look at the zones, and there was another one too, and you could go into the GM zones. So there was a couple of zones that was designated just for the GMs. But I used to mess around with all that. And that was like in 2002, 2003. Like way early on. So it's really sad to hear that the actual EQMU community, the Discord, closed its doors because of this lawsuit. that's 20 plus years of a community that the old school OG EverQuest devs, they never had a problem with them. They never had a problem with the EQEMU, the emulator community, nothing. But these clowns, these actual clowns, these woke nonsense clowns that currently work at Daybreak that don't even understand what EverQuest was. I mean, EverQuest was your heavy metal, kill and slay an orc, Aragorn type of freaking like loyalty, unity, valor, work together to slay the dragon type of game, right? Now it's just like, wow, like cosmetic fest, get your latest rainbow horse or your cosmetics for your house, which I'm not against cosmetics, I'm not against horses. But when that becomes like a core thing about your game, it's just like microtransactions and I don't know, just lame. I mean, you can the beauty of a fantasy game is its diversity. Like fantasy games in their core and what they stand for and everything, it's diverse. You have good, you have evil, you have elves, you have gnomes. Like everyone hates gnomes, like worst race of all, terrible. Use them as footballs, that's all they're good for. You've got dark elves, you've got erudites, you've got dwarves. Greatest allies of the wood elves, love the dwarves, unlike the gnomes, terrible gnomes. Never talk to a gnome. Actually, a halfling might be worse than a gnome. You can't trust a halfling. Anyways, I digress. You got dragons, you got skeletons, you've got lizard people. Like there's so much going on in a fantasy game. Like you don't need to superimpose anything. You don't need to superimpose politics. You don't need to superimpose like any kind of real world stuff, because the whole reason we play these games is for escapism. So we can go and kill the orcs, so we can role play as Legolas or Aragorn, so we can be Gandalf, you know what I mean, and get lost in the world, just like we used to fantasize about when we were kids watching Lord of the Rings for the first time, you know what I mean, or reading those fantasy books when we were kids. The second you feel like something, and this is not like this is moving away from EverQuest, but just games in general nowadays, the second that I feel like somebody is trying to lecture me about some like modern world issues, which I mean by all means, like you should have your discussions, but when the game becomes revolved around something that happens in real life, it pulls me out of the game and reminds me of how crappy real life is. Not everything's crappy, but like politics in general is just crap, right? I want nothing to do with it. I want none of it in my games. I don't want any recollection or notice of it, you know? I mean, I don't even want to see it in the logo of the company that I'm playing the game from. Like any reminder of anything from the real world pulls me out of why I play these kind of video games in the first place. Escapism, 100%. And you guys know me. I don't talk about my personal life. I don't talk about my personal issues. I could tell you stories of stuff that has happened to me 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, but I won't. I refuse, because this is you know how they always say safe space, right? This is a safe space for not talking about personal issues. Now, we might joke and we might talk about like some stuff, but it never becomes like the purpose of the stream. You know what I mean? I'm even explaining this right now in a way of saying like, just remember what we're here about. And if I ever deviate from this, then call me out on it. We're here to chill and play a freaking fantasy role-playing game and not make it about anything else. Look at that, 2 cooked wolf. Oh, dude, I am getting rich. I don't know if you guys understand this. They were making 100K a month on THJ. Oh, 100%, Carlos. Dude, I'm gonna say this the nicest way I possibly can. They pulled a dumb ass move by doing that, and they knew exactly what they were doing. Plain and simple. They FAFO'd. They shouldn't have done it. If they did what Project Quorum was doing, if they did what like P99 was doing, they would still be around today. They were trying to get rich. Now, they probably didn't think they would make that much money. They probably didn't think there would be 30,000 Discord subs. They probably didn't know that there was going to be so many people in Wales that start playing, because that's another reason why I knew that it was an EQ Live player, is because EQ Live has whales. It has people that are constantly pouring money into the MTX, into the EverQuest store, right? That's the only thing keeping EverQuest alive, the sub fees and then the microtransactions. So all those people came to the hero's journey. It was like, dude, this is an even better version of EQ Live. And they have the equivalent of a store, not the same. So, you know, for anyone that knows the details, I get it. It's not apples to apples. It was slightly different, but there was still a type of currency that if you did not invest in it towards the latter part of the game, then you were genuinely setting yourself back. Like, the whole point of THJ was to save time. And if you are trying to save time, and especially towards the end, if you weren't donating to get that currency, then you were falling behind. What was the name of it? Echoes of, what was it? EOM, Echoes of Memory. So they sold Echoes of Memory as a currency. And yes, according to the legal documents, they were allegedly taking home $100,000 a month. Yikes. That's a major yikes. So yeah, both sides were wrong. The THJ people screwed up, and the EQ Live people screwed up. But they didn't have a choice. Imagine being responsible for, like, say you worked for legal for the EQ people, right? Like, you would lose your job in a heartbeat if you didn't do something about it, right? Like, imagine being the CEO of a company and it's like, well, you know, it's the emulator community, so we need to preserve it. It's like, okay, you're fired. Let me hire somebody that's gonna proceed with this lawsuit immediately. These people are literally cannibalizing our business. So yeah, EQ didn't have a choice, and you know, I think both parties deserve equal amounts of blame. The only thing I will say is, I know a lot of people say this, but if only Daybreak would open their eyes and recognize that if they did something similar, that they would be massively successful. And just like I talked about this, and one of my shorts, which received, I think, has over 7,000 views by now, about what Sean was talking about, for EverQuest to remake Classic, basically. Just like you see all these remasters, which are massively successful, if they would just take the classic EverQuest, if they would remaster it, put a fresh coat of paint on it, they would make tons of money from that. Just charge a sub fee, don't have any microtransactions. They would make so much money off of that. It would be enough money to fund a proper EQ3. That's pretty much the gist of what Sean said, the ex-EQ dev, right? They're never going to do it because they don't even know what classic EverQuest looks like. They don't know what it feels like. They weren't there. The vast majority of the people that run Daybreak were not around back in the 2000s when EverQuest was actually good. It's over. Like, I hate to say it, it's over. Anything to do with, unless they sell the IP to some of the OGs that are still around, still alive, and still have a passion for EverQuest, there is no more EverQuest in the sense of playing it live on a live server, you know. In my opinion, for me, like, I can genuinely say, like, I would not go and play at EQ Live. Maybe if they got rid of all the microtransactions, maybe if there was no more shop, maybe if they brought back the slow progression, no level boosts, no XP pots, no pay to win, and I tried, right? I actually think the fact that there's like 30 expansions, I'm sure that there's some really good writing in there, some really good stories in there. I'd like to experience it, you know? Um, but it just doesn't, the world doesn't feel alive, right? I can't explain it. Like, I don't play video games, so maybe for people that play video games all the time, this is really hard to understand, but I really stopped playing video games in high school, okay? Like, just being honest. After high school, I didn't really get back into video games. I didn't play video games through my 20s. I really didn't play video games too much in my early 30s. The only game I really played a lot is EverQuest. I bought a PS3, I think, or a PS4 when it first came out. And I would play with my wife, and we'd have friends over occasionally. I'd play, but like, I've always had a problem with playing video games. Not a problem like I have something against it, but sitting there for hours upon hours and hours and just playing, I get convicted. Like, I'm like, oh crap. Oh no, my bills, my this. I get stressed. Like, I get literally stressed from playing video games. Video games are supposed to be like a restful experience. For me, it does the opposite. I start to worry about my bills. I start to worry about my responsibilities and all this stuff. And I'm just like, I can't do this. The only way a game can do that for me is if I feel like I'm actually having a worthwhile experience. And that's what EverQuest did. EverQuest made me feel like this progression isn't just number go up. It felt like I was growing a character, but I was having like a lived, shared experience with people in a world that feels alive, and I'm having human interactions with people. So I can tell myself at the end of the day, it's like, hey, you know, I gained some XP, I got that new piece of gear, I create the quest in my head. Like, I'm not just completing quest 1, quest 2, quest 3 like in WoW, right? Because now I'm just following somebody else's footsteps. I'm creating my own journey, I'm creating my own goals, I'm creating my own quests, I'm meeting cool people like Monk Beans. He's been my homie for years now, and I met him through EQ, but now we're friends in real life. So you see what I mean? That's something I can tell myself that, okay, yes, I played a video game for X amount of hours, but it affected my real life in a positive way. You know what I mean? So, anywho, I'm not a gamer. That's just the truth. I'm not a gamer. I never was. So this is all coming from the perspective of a person that's not a gamer. So yeah, that's why it's really hard for me to play a game like Modern EverQuest, because it just feels like a video game. That has an artificial way of making me feel like getting that dopamine rush. This is so amazing, dude. All right, I better catch up with the chat. I'm sorry, guys. I went off on a major tangent. Monk Bean said, I got a great idea. Let's have ChatGPT make us an MMO and we'll just MTX the ever-living doo-doo out of it. Then let's retire on the same island that Tupac is hiding out at. Yeah, that's a great idea. Excellent idea. Carlos said, that looks so awesome. Know it's better when you start using Reshade. True. Game looks 10x better. Monk Bean said Nvidia or AMD. I'm not even paying attention to what I'm supposed to be doing. Gotta sell this, sell that. By the way, if I offended anyone with my opinions, then I'm really sorry that you would get offended by somebody else's opinion. That's kind of sad. You should never let somebody else's opinions offend you. That's the best part about having, like, meeting other people, is being like, oh snap, I didn't think, you think that way? Oh, I think completely different. That's tight. I never met somebody like you. Let's have a conversation about it. I might learn something. You know what I mean? I used to love that, man. I used to get in conversations, like, especially when I was younger, I'd talk with hours with people, disagreeing and just being like, yeah, I don't agree, but let's talk about it. It's so cool to hear other people's perspectives on things. Like, it's kind of not fun. Like when you agree, like, that's why I like Vontae. Vontae's not here, but I like Vontae because he's very good at sharing his perspective on things and explaining why, you know. I've seen a lot of internet trolls that, like, they don't want to have a conversation. All of you guys are cool though. I really enjoy you guys because I feel like we can have actual conversations. Adventure gear, cloth armor. So let's sell. We're gonna sell this. Yeah, you guys are dope. I'm trying to see if I even remember how to get around this city. We're gonna destroy that. Bone chips. I'm gonna put this away in my pouch. I need to sell these weapons. Weapons and armor. Yeah, they updated all this. Blacksmithing supplies. Do you buy swords? Oh no, but you buy this stuff. I'm not selling that. Who knows what I need it for? Woodworking, carpentry, tailor. Who sells weapons? Monk Bean said, are you in our Discord? Oh, I think that's talking to Carlos. Carlos, yeah. Carlos is there. Yeah. Monk Bean said, yeah, dude, Vontae is the man. Yeah, Vontae is great. He's like, he's one of those day oneers. He's been around since day one. I recently I feel like our Discord is getting pretty packed with cool people, but sometimes it's quality over quantity. So I used to have my Discord link up for anyone to join. But I decided, since my YouTube is now, it has like the subscription thing, I made it so that if somebody really wants to join, it's like $1.99 for the membership. It's like you pay one time through YouTube and then you can like delete it. But that at least tells me that whoever wants to join the community is like really interested and not just some random dude. Like, I've already noticed that the bigger this channel gets, the more messages I get from bots, the more just like randoms show up, and I'm just like, well, I don't know, no, I don't have time for that. I don't have any social media. I don't want to start having any. But obviously, if somebody cool like on the stream comes on, it's like, nah, dude, I'm never gonna pay any money to anyone online, but I want to join your Discord and you're really cool. Obviously, I'm gonna invite anyone for Discord. It's not like, oh, pay this to get in, but I want to make it available for those quiet people. You know, there's quiet people out there that watch the stream and they might not say anything here, but they want to chat in the Discord. It's right there. They can pay $1.99 join, and then I can refund it to them if they want it. I just want to keep this community tight knit, and I don't want to make it oversaturated with just crazy stuff, man. Just keep it chill, keep it small. You know. Speaking of which, like and subscribe. Alright. We just sold everything. How much money do we have? Okay, we got about 4 silver. We should be able to buy some more stuff. Let's replace this. I think I need 5 silver. I need 5 silver for the weapon I want. Let's see. Yeah, no, I need 6. I need 6 silver. It's not this one. I think it's this one. Hold on, let me check my notes. Yeah, I need 6 silver. Focus on Tattered Hind. The weapon is 7 damage, 20. Corroded Bronze Warhammer. Corroded Bronze Mace. Where is it? Yeah, I don't have enough money, but this is an OP weapon for... Yeah, there we go, this one. 6 damage, 28 delay. Oh, they nerfed it. They actually nerfed it. Look, guys. How are you going to nerf such a low-level weapon? Look, 6 damage, 28 delay. When I wrote this down, it was 7 damage, 28 delay. I don't want to pay 6 silver for that. How dare you? Nick, did you do that? Did you do that, Nick? Change it back. Change it back. I'm just playing. No, but seriously, dude, why? No, I get it. That's why I had it written down, because 7 damage, 28 delay is sick at level 4. Monk Bean said, I remember when we met him in Pantheon. Oh yeah, Vontae, we did meet him in Pantheon. Or that's true. You have a much better memory than me when it comes to this stuff. I'm so lost right now. Actually, no. I remember this right here. And then when we take a left, we should be able to make it down. Right? No, I'm lost. Oh, this is new. This is all new. So this is like the Druid area. They added all this stuff to make it more Druidy. Good for them. Sweet. Good for them. Alright, Carlos said Nick did say he was going to nerf some of the basic weapon damage. No, I understand. And honestly, like, it makes sense. They've got to nerf stuff in order to keep the progression the way it's supposed to be. It doesn't make sense, because then think about it, when you're going to start twinking your characters, when you get to like level 50 and you start creating alts and you want to like twink some characters, it's not going to feel as special if the starter weapons are already OP, you know? Oh, excuse me, didn't mean to gulp in your ear. Okay. Do you guys think I'm gonna die if I jump from here? Oh. Nice. Nice. I didn't die. I used to do that in Kelithan all the time. Like jump from platform to platform and hope I don't die. Oh, look at these dudes, dude. No. I'm looking at you. Come back. Come back, you look so cool. Oh, they upgraded the model for the ghoul. Like all this stuff I think is new. The art team is doing such a great job with everything, dude. It looks so sick. Like the other day I was staring like at a boring texture inside of an inn, and it was in Night Harbor. So the inn in Night Harbor, if you go and look at the wall, right? It's like a clay stone wall, something that you would see in, an Arabic type of, or a Persian city, like in Aladdin or something, right? So it's just like the wall, boring wall, nothing special, no designs, but it was a painted texture, and you can see like the brush strokes and something about it. I'm like staring at it. I'm like, dude, this is just like a painted, simple texture, like nothing special about it, but it looked so clean. They really did a good job with the art style now, and it's only going to get better. They still have so much work to do, because like you're going to run around the zone or the city, and you're going to be like, man, I wish there was more like things, like physical things, like filling in the things with things, like a blacksmithing table, or like a painting, or like Evercraft or Agilent Online. They do a really good job already. Like the game is in early access, but if you go into the main city, you'll see the furniture is laid out. There's paintings, there's chandeliers, and everything looks like very filled in. Monsters and Memories is going to do the same thing, but they also can't be focusing their attention on that right now when they have so many other things to be building out. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm excited to see the version of Monsters and Memories that already has all that stuff decked out. It's going to look sick. It's going to be lit. All right, we're going to get our rested buff, and then we're going to go back downstairs, but that's pretty cool. We got about 4 silver. We started off with like 5 copper, so we're working our way up. Monk Bean said, Nick, we stayed up until, I think we stayed up until like 8 a.m. playing with him. Yeah, it sounds about right. Illuminati, oh snap, I'm missing all these tells. Yo, tell Illuminati, hey, and yo. You know what? I'm going to pull this out. Wait. What? I think it's still working, right? All right, I just moved my... All right, let me go AFK for a second. I just need to check on something in IRL. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. All right, yeah, Illuminati. He's like, I'm waiting on you to hit level 50 so you can PL me, get to leveling. I'm on it. There's 46 levels to go. Speaking of which, let's go get some more wood elf meat. Boo, 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 boo. Oh, wait for me, wait for me, wait for me, wait for me. Yeet. Yeah, speaking of Pantheon, man, I'm so disappointed. I think the biggest mistake they made is going into early access the way they did. And what I mean by that is going in, like, hindsight is always 2020, right? But they went into early access. They got really, really good reviews on Steam. But because of that, they also had so many eyeballs on Pantheon, and everyone started flooding them with bug fixes, suggestions, like do this, fix that. And I believe, and this is just my personal opinion, I believe they got overwhelmed with all the requests. And I feel like it steered them off of the vision and priorities. And here's what I mean by that. They're doing a really good job. Like they recently, I think, released a major update, and it's like Black Rose Keep, and it's a ginormous place where you can level all the way from like 20 to 40 or something like that. Like there's low level content, there's mid level content, there's high level content. Like it's huge. But there's still no hub city. What's that place called? What's the main city called in Pantheon Rise of the Fallen wiki map? Not Avendir's Pass. What's the human city called? Somebody tell me. Oh gosh, I can't remember. No, so Avendir, yeah, that's like the area surrounding the city. Pantheon Rise of the Fallen map. It's the human city, dude. What the heck? Thronefast. So Thronefast is the region, but it's like Thronefast City. Okay, so when you log in, you're in Avendir's Pass, you're in that little town, and there's a major city right there. And I've said this many times, and I'll say it again. That's one of the main reasons why I haven't come back to Pantheon. Until there's a major hub city like that available, where people come and they make their East Common Lands tunnel, and they do this and they do that, and there's merchants and there's bustling NPCs, the world doesn't feel alive to me. I had so much fun. I glazed Pantheon. When I played Pantheon when I first released, I was like, this is the best game ever. But I can't come back because I'm just bored. I'm bored because the world doesn't feel connected and alive yet. I'm sure they're going to get to that, but it just doesn't do it for me anymore. The gameplay's good. The classes feel great. But again, we talked about this earlier. I play fantasy games because of escapism, because of Lord of the Rings, because, feeling like Aragorn or Legolas or Gimli, right? And it's so you can visit those cities and, you go on the adventure basically, right? You go into the dungeon, dark, gritty, scary, like skeletons, dragons, all this stuff. After all of that chaos, it feels good to go through the city gates, right? You cross the bridge, you cross the moat, whatever it might be. You see the major city gate. You see the towering buildings and towers. You walk in, you see the stone, you see the blacksmithing away. You see all the vendors, like picture Baldur's Gate. You guys remember Baldur's Gate 2? Like, Baldur's Gate 2 was rough, man. It was scary. But then after all of the crazy stuff, when you would finally make it into Baldur's Gate, it felt so good being in that city. And it felt like a relief. Like, people always use the word cozy. Oh, it's so cozy. I love cozy stuff. I hate the term. They need to think of a different term that doesn't sound so cringe, but I like cozy stuff. I like being able to go back to Kelthon. I like going back to Freeport. I like, in these fantasy games, I like going back to a cozy place after an adventure. And I feel like Pantheon doesn't have that. The Wood Elf City, I think, is great. They just need to expand on it. So what I'm trying to say is, yes, they still have so much work to do. They got to build the game. It's hard developing an MMO. But because they have so many Steam people, so many eyeballs on it, I feel like it's hard to develop a game because you're trying to meet the needs of the people of the current player base. And it makes you neglect some of the most important core things that they should be focusing on, which is like just get the city in, at least one. I'm not like, for example, Monsters Memories is going to release into early access, and there's going to be 2 hub cities, Night Harbor and Faelindral. But there's going to be starter cities for the Dark Elves. There's going to be starter cities for the Gnomes, Halflings, and all that's going to come later. But the fact that there's already 2 hub cities is already like tenfold more than what Pantheon has, in my opinion. You know what I mean? If Night Harbor feels like a bustling city already. Faelindral feels like a bustling city already. It's still missing so much. But I can play an early access game that has 2 hub cities. You know what I mean? That contrasts from one another. Obviously, the version of the game I prefer is the finished version 1.0, where there's tons of starter cities. But the game's not done, right? But if you're going to go into early access, you need to at least have a hub city. And that's why I don't play Pantheon anymore, because it doesn't have like a bustling hub city. So, really like Pantheon. I think it's such a fun freaking game. But I plan on coming back. I'm saying this because I actually do want to come back to Pantheon, but I can't come back until there's until Throne Fast is finished. So the day they announce that Throne Fast is finished, and you can actually enter the city, is the day I come back to play Pantheon. Carlos said, my biggest problem with Pantheon, doesn't feel like a world. It just feels like classic WoW with EQ classes and no lore MMORPG game. They should have focused on the world first. Yeah, exactly. 100%. Monk Beans agrees. It says 100% Carlos. I had so much fun playing Pantheon, but honestly only fun if all my friends were on. If it was just me on my own, I had zero interest in playing at all. Also, the population fell off something fierce. Yeah. And they expected the population to fall off, but the first part of what you said about being with friends, yeah, Pantheon was really fun with the classes. One thing I couldn't stand though is what do you call those things? They had a system in the game where certain like certain NPCs. Oh, it would have a chevron. There you go, chevron. The chevron system, which basically what it means is certain mobs would have chevrons. So like 1 chevron, 2 chevron, and if it had one of those, it doesn't matter if it's a green mob, a blue mob, a white mob, a red mob. Even if it's a green mob, you couldn't kill it. You couldn't solo it. So like, let's say you're level 10 and there's a red mob and it kills you, right? You're like, I'm going to level up to 15 and I'm going to come back and get my revenge when that thing is green, just out of spite. Guess what? You can't do it, because if it's a chevron mob, it's considered a boss mob. So you can't kill it unless you're in a group. And one of the things I like about these kind of MMOs is being able to go back to old content and wreak havoc on all those mobs that made your life hell when you were a low level. Like for me, that's like progression. That's like how I know that I've made it, is when I can come back to Crushbone as a level 20 and literally mow every single mob down in the zone just for fun. I get 0 XP. I just get the joy of Crushbone belts and knowing that I'm a boss now. So all those Crushbone trains, yeah. See me now. How you like me now? Yeah, the chevrons was a terrible system. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. No amount of explanation is going to make me like it. And it gamifies. It's a gamified system, right? We're already playing a game. I don't need a reminder. Like, for example, I've always said this. I hate level caps. Meaning, I hate it when you loot a sword and it says you must be level 20 to use this sword. I hate it because it reminds me that I'm playing a video game. And like I said this whole stream, I play MMORPGs for escapism. So it's kind of like breaking the fourth wall, right? I'm witnessing like at that point there's a connection between me and the dev. I'm like, oh, a dev made this. Somebody coded this. This is not real. It pulls me out of the game. Level caps are like, there's other ways of doing level caps. Like, for example, you can make items no drop. You can make them lore, right? You can make it so that, sure, you can use the sword at level 1, but it has a spell that only procs when you're level 40. I can deal with that, because how do you explain that from a lore perspective? Well, you can just say that, what level 1 could handle the King Arthur's sword, right? If somebody hands King Arthur's sword to a peasant, sure, he can hold it, but can he wield the might and the magic that comes with King Arthur's sword? Probably not. He'd probably have to be a knight of the round table. So you can explain that away, but think about it in real life. If somebody hands you King Arthur's sword and it's like, oh, because you're a peasant, you can't even lift it or something. Like, I mean, I guess you can sort of say, sure, why not? But no, it makes no sense. It's a gamified thing where the devs are just trying to lock content out, because if they give you that content, it's going to break their game. And if your game is broken so easily, you need to do a better job developing. It's called balancing, right? And here's the thing. We like, as MMO players, we like finding stuff that, oh, you're not supposed to have that at this level. I used to do that all the time. As a low level, I'd go to super high level areas where everything was red, where there was level 40s in grouping, and I would sneak around with Invis. I'd find where the people were grouping, and I would ask them, I'm like, hey, you guys mind if I hang out and just like loot your trash mobs? And they'd be like, yeah, sure, go for it. And I would loot the fine steel weapons, and I'd take them back to town as a level 5, and I'd get like 50 plat. Like, I like these little gimmicks, these little, what do you call it? Not hacks, but there's another word for it. Whatever, I can't remember the word, but basically we like to cheese the system. giving the player like, it's almost like you're finding a secret in the game. Like, you know, Monsters and Memories is really big on there's going to be secret passageways, there's going to be secrets, there's going to be secret quests that nobody finds. Well, what about good old just finding out that if you kill, like, I mean, kind of like what I'm doing right now, right? Like, I'm specifically killing these dudes because I'm trying to collect as much wood elf meat, because I found out accidentally that if you cook the meat, you get 25 silver. Now, maybe that's not the most ideal way of making money, but in my mind, I'm like, oh, I discovered something, right? And that's a very good feeling. But when you have a chevron and it's like a level cap and all this stuff, it's just so disappointing. It's not fun. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier about it's like, I already don't feel like playing games most of the time. Like, I'd rather be using my time to do something else. Right. And it makes it even worse when a game reminds you that you're playing a game. Speaking of games that don't remind you that you're playing a game, I recently tried Arc Raiders, and it is the most fun I've had in a shooting game since like Counter-Strike 1.6. For completely different reasons, not even for the shooting mechanics. The PvE in Arc Raiders is cinema, like Helldivers type cinema. I would say I'm enjoying Arc Raiders more than I did Helldivers 2. Arc Raiders, I'm actually, let me show you guys something. I'm gonna make a video about it. It's not gonna be a video, but it's gonna be a I'm gonna do a live stream. Because in 2026, I'm gonna start doing a lot more streams. So like, subscribe. Anyways, but here's the thumbnail. I made this thumbnail because that's gonna be the thumbnail for the video. Carlos said, you mean 25 copper points, right? Not 25 silver is broken. Yeah, no. I meant copper. Thank you. So this is the what do you call it? YouTube thumbnail that I made. So basically, I'm gonna be making I'm gonna be playing Arc Raiders live, and I'm gonna be talking about why this game feels so good. Like from an MMO perspective, like the questing system, the class system, the point system, the crafting system. Like, I thought this was going to be some like lame Tarkov extraction shooter game that has a bunch of toxic players. It is the complete freaking opposite. It is fun. It is PvE oriented. Most of the players don't want to fight. They just want to group up so we can survive. And there's so much depth, and the graphics are freaking phenomenal. Like, it's the only Unreal Engine game I've played where I'm like, yo, this looks sick. The sound design, bar none, is the best sound design I've ever had in any game. And the sneaking mechanics and all that stuff, it's so good. It's so good. And you know, when I'm playing it, I'm going to be calling out, like, you see this right here? This reminds me of like what I would expect in an MMORPG, not in a shooting game. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm probably going to do that in the next 2 weeks. And it's so much fun. When you squad up with your boys, yeah, it's super fun. It's more fun than Helldivers. Sorry. I loved Helldivers, but it's so good. That looks great, dude. Monkbean said, that looks great, dude. Class&Cool. I need you to make some graphics for me that I can use in my UIs. Yeah, I gladly would love to help out with whatever. Dude, I'm 2 hours into this stream and I'm still not level 5. I'm such a joker. Okay, so let me upgrade my gear. I'm over here. well-worn shirt, tattered hide. Oh, no, I already have something nice. Now we just gotta sell that. Okay. Yeah, just send me a message on what you need. I'd love to help out with that. Yeah, and actually I liked it too. I was when I finished the thumbnail, I was like, hey, this looks pretty clean, man. Hold on, let me show you this. Oh, wrong one. Let me change it really quick. Because I've been wanting to rebrand. I'm not gonna rebrand, but I just want to switch things up a little bit, just subtly. So here's the November. This is I just want to show this off really quick. My bad. Okay, so I guess I'll just share this one. This is what I've had for a long time now. Class&Cool. PNG. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this right here. Right here. So this is what I've been using for the longest time, right? And then this is the new thumbnail I made, and it's a very subtle thing, but I changed the font. I downloaded a new font that I really like. I think it's like Beble or something like that. And I'm gonna start using it in my thumbnails. It's very subtle, but I like it because it's just little, I don't know. Like this is what I've been doing, and it's like very bubbly and then pops or whatever. But I kind of just like this. Just make it a little bit cleaner. So that's the old. That's the new. Old. New. Like it's very subtle, but it's literally just the font. And I decided to do it because I changed it up here. But yeah, I had to make all this myself. So like I found these bars as a PNG file. Then I ripped this logo. So it was the logo with the bars, but it was like small, you know what I mean? So I got the vector art for this and I exported it. I got these logos, obviously I already had them. And I made a like trapezoid shape over here with this color. I used a rectangle, and then I found this artwork. So I think the raw image for this, I'll show you what the raw image was really quick. This one. So this is the original. This is the original right here. So I used this and I basically turned it into this. See that? So I took this image, I put it in the background, I blocked off this in blue, I made this blue, I blended the colors, and so I used this raw artwork and it ended up with this. It took me no more than 15 minutes to make this, but now it's like a template. I can use this template every time. So every time I play Arc Raiders, I'm just going to use this, and then I'm going to fill up the left portion here with like some kind of like image that matches what my stream is going to be about, you know? I really enjoy doing this stuff, but I'm really bad at making thumbnails. So, I mean, you should see my very first thumbnails, dude. When I first started this channel, I didn't know how to do any of this stuff. I was just kind of figuring it out as I went along. And, I mean, I gradually just got a little bit better. And I still have so much to learn. Like, it's really, I'm not impressed with anything I do. but hold on one sec. Oh, this one's a classic. I love this one. This is one of my favorite thumbnails ever. This is the best. This is great. That one's great. And then I think I have another one. Oh, this one's not that great, but this is a recent one. I thought this one was kind of funny. Hold on. There it is. Yeah. All right. Let's get back to it. But it's fun. It's fun stuff. It's green to me? Why is it green to me? Yeah, I really enjoy doing that stuff, but the problem is I end up doing it all at the last minute, and that's why it takes me so long to like start a stream. Like I'm like, all right, I think I'm gonna go live tonight around 11, and then I'm like, oh crap, I need to make a thumbnail, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. So yeah, the thumbnail I'm using today is gonna be like my new default. Trying to keep I just don't want it like cheesy or corny or just like lame. Like I'm like, you know, why not? Why not? Like just because we're playing EverQuest or like a nerdy MMO doesn't mean the thumbnail's got to be corny. Like there's no difference between this game and a game like Arc Raiders as far as like the community is concerned. Like we as a community, the MMORPG community, the nerdy community, we deserve to have nice things too. And it should be just as clean and sleek as some of those other games that you see out there. Like we need some real good content creators to come in and start like playing Monsters and Memories. You know, in due time that's gonna happen, but I'm just saying like there's not a lot out there. And I'm not bashing on the content creators. Like I see you, Classic EverQuest, you're amazing. I see you, the other guy, I forget his name. Like, but I just feel like there's not a lot of people in the MMO community that take this craft seriously enough. And since day one, and I'm not saying I'm there, like I'm not there, but my end goal for this channel is I want it to have the same production value, the same thumbnails, the same sound quality, the same everything as what you would expect from like some major streamer that plays like modern games. You know what I mean? Like why can't we have the same kind of production value as them? And the only answer I can think of is laziness, you know? And like I'll tell you what I'm really bad at. I'm really bad at editing videos. Like I've seen people make videos on MMOs and they like edit and they put transitions and they put effects and text, and it's like a 2-hour video on the history of this MMORPG. I've tried doing that, and after 8 hours of editing, I'm just like, I haven't even finished the first 5 minutes of this video. Literally 8 hours of editing. Like I don't know how these people do it, dude. And I know it takes time and practice, but still, it takes me so long to edit videos because I'm always trying to like be a perfectionist, and it's terrible, dude. It's really bad. But, you know, once I get more free time, I'm sure I'll get better at it, but it's just something I'm not good at right now. All right, we're going to find a new place to hunt. We're going to sell, and then we're going to go do something else because this is, I think I'm just shooting myself in the foot. Because if we were in Night Harbor right now, I would have already leveled up because I would have gone and done the Crocs. And the Crocs drop some decent loot. They got the pristine Croc hides. They sell for like almost 50 copper, I think. And some other things. and they're like even level at level 4, so you can get some really good XP. I feel like I'm just wasting time right now. And we're gonna do some retail arbitrage, so I'm gonna go sell, and then I'm gonna do some retail arbitrage, and then maybe we'll hang out for a little bit longer, and then we'll just continue the journey tomorrow. Monk Bean, sorry dude. He said, can you make 9 slicing icons and stuff? Yeah, I don't see why not. Like slicing icons? Sounds easy enough. And honestly, dude, with ChatGPT and AI, there's so much stuff that you can do. Like once you train your AI to do, like once you set the expectation of how you want things to look, and that's the biggest issue with AI, is getting it to stay consistent. But once you kind of get it to be consistent, it's amazing what you can accomplish. Like that one thumbnail I showed you where it had the sand giant, I couldn't find a picture of a sand giant from Monsters and Memories to save my life. So I had to rewatch one of Sean's streams. Let me just show you this because this is pretty incredible. I really want to show you this. I'm actually pretty proud of this because this is like the type of problem solving that this is what AI should be for. Like it shouldn't think for you. It should be a tool, and it should help you solve problems that normally you would have to, like you wouldn't be able to solve the problem. So let me show you this. So okay. So this image right here. Okay. So this sand giant, I was watching, let me see something. Hold on. If I could find this, I'm going to be so stoked. Let me go to my screenshots folder really quick. I mean, because this is genuinely crazy good. So I was watching Sean. So I couldn't find a sand giant, and I couldn't get a close-up when I was doing the alpha. So I'm like, where am I going to find a sand giant? Let me rewatch Sean's streams, right? And I found one stream where he was really close to a sand giant, but it was such low quality that I couldn't use it in the thumbnail. So, I mean, I really want to find this. I'm looking for the screenshot right now. Just give me a second. So I found the screenshot. So I screenshotted it and I put it inside ChatGPT and I said remake it. But oftentimes when you do that, it just comes out as like caca. It just doesn't look good. But it did a really good job. I don't think I'm going to find it. Dang it. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to find it. Oh, wait. No, I found it. Okay. Yes. So, all right, watch this. This is genuinely sick. Okay. So here's the end result. Right? Look what I had to work with to get this image. This is a screenshot I took while Sean was streaming. So I basically told ChatGPT, I'm like, recreate it, keeping the exact same art style, like don't change anything, but upscale it. And it gave me this. Like freaking sick, dude. Like that's the kind of stuff that AI can help with, you know? I mean, much more than that, but like when I was making a thumbnail, it really, because here's the thing, I don't want to put a jacked up pixelated picture of a sand giant because then I feel like I'm misrepresenting Monsters and Memories. Like I want to show off Monsters and Memories in the best light possible, you know what I mean? Like what a sand giant actually looks like, you know? So, and you know, like, okay, how do I solve this problem? Oh, okay, they don't have any concept art of it that's like full color. Like they have concept art. If you go to monstersandmemories.com, you go to updates, you go to their newsletters, there's sand giants in there, but they're like the black and white ones. How do I solve the problem? Go to Sean's stream, find a sand giant, screenshot it. Oh, not good enough. Drop it on ChatGPT. I'm like, keep it exactly the same. Just upscale it. Boom, pops it out. First attempt, done. It was freaking... I even said, make sure that it's cropped and that the background is transparent. So I had a PNG file ready to go that I could just drop into Photoshop, and it was ready to go. It was so easy, dude. So easy, dude. It was lit, dude. So lit. So litty lit. Lit. Super lit. Alright. Let's sell the bone chips and this and that and cooked orc meat and this. We gotta sell. What is this? Fellstone warrior belt. A crude belt. Oh, I'm already what? I wonder if, wait, how do I have two of them then? If it's no drop. Oh, it's no drop. It's not lore. Okay, so I need to sell this. I don't need this. I don't need this either. I probably can't sell that, but I'm gonna try. I should put these in the bank because I don't know what they're for. Probably nothing right now. Alright, let's go sell. What I should do is buy some more bags. Let's see if I can remember where the bank is at. I think the banker is up there. Monk Beans, oh sorry. Monk Bean said that's awesome. Like infinitely scalable with a single asset. Carla said Wood Elf area still needs some more work. Oh no. Wood Elf area needs a lot of work. It's not even. So let me put it into perspective. When I tried Faelindral 2 months ago, like none of this was here. The awnings weren't there. The signs weren't complete. The NPC, there was no NPCs. Like there was no NPCs at all. So Carlos, you're not. Oh, this wasn't here last month. This is the bank. None of this was here last month. So you're right. I mean, there's nothing in the game is finished. So I'm glad you brought that up because there's probably people that have never seen MMO Monsters and Memories before. So everything you're looking at is a work in progress. So if something feels missing, it is. Like 100% it's missing. And the devs know it's missing. So yeah. Great call out. No, the Wood Elf City, you're going to see this city in a year and it's going to be unrecognizable. It's going to look 100% different. Like it's going to be the same, obviously, but it's going to be completely different because there's going to be so many more assets and items, like these kind of things and stuff. So they're probably going to reorganize some of the like guild vendors and merchants. And last month when I came here, you can watch my stream, by the way. You can look back when I did this same thing a few months ago. And I went to every single NPC in the zone pretty much, trying to find the Druid vendor, the Druid trainer. And I couldn't find it because the Druid trainer didn't have anything like that resembles a Druid homeland. Like, whatever. But I just went there earlier today, and if you remember, I said, oh, snap, this looks so different. It actually looks like a Druid place, you know? So, yeah, all of that stuff is going to be added in over time. Slowly but surely. I mean, honestly, I'm glad they're at least adding something. Because that goes back to what I was talking about Pantheon, where it's like, there is no Throne Fast. Like, I would be okay if there was at least a Throne Fast, even if it was, like, empty. You know what I mean? But to have nothing is very, very hard to stomach, you know? Yeah, look at these things, man. I love this kind of stuff. They made a little shelf and put some gear up there. That's a nice touch. So like they're gradually adding stuff like this, and that's actually pretty fun between alpha tests, logging in and being like, oh, that wasn't there last time. That's sick. All right. And actually the wood elves look different. A few months ago they reworked the way the wood elf faces look, and who knows, they might rework them again. So tattered cloth pantalones. Okay, we just need to sell this. Let's go sell the weapons. How much are the bags? Pouch is 50 silver. 50 copper. No, I'm not gonna do that, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and buy that weapon anyways. Carlos said, what's crazy is that you can use that and create a 3D asset for your own game. Yeah, 100%. I think maybe it was you, Carlos, or somebody on the Discord was showing that off, and Goblin was doing a stream. Was it Goblin or somebody else? They were literally just doing a stream the other night, and they were talking about like AI generated assets. Rusty belt, sell. Okay, we should have enough to get the weapon. So I'm gonna look at this, but give me a quick second, guys. I ran out of coffee. All right, I'll leave you guys with the merchant music. BRB baba. Alrighty. I'm back. Alright, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna look and find what weapon we want. So I wanted to have the corroded bronze warhammer last time, but Nick decided to nerf my weapon, so we should have enough, right? Or do we still not have enough? No, we have enough. Yeah, 400 copper is 4 silver, and then I have 2 silver, so that's 6 silver. All right, what's crazy is that you can use, Carlos said, what's crazy is that you can use that and then create a 3D asset for your own game. I was copying his art, then updating it based on my prompts, then converting it to 3D asset. Yeah, that's really cool. Now, I would like discourage anyone from doing that without the permission of the artist, right? But yes, like an artist, let's say you have a sketch of something, you take the sketch and you convert it into a 3D model. Look, even if you're doing it for like inspiration, for time savings, like I don't think we should just create everything with AI, but I think we should, like, I'll give you an example. Let's say somebody makes concept art. Like, let's say Goblin makes concept art, and then Zukin takes that concept art and says, all right, I need you to make me this into a 3D model or something like that. If it does that, and then he takes over from there, he takes the wheel and he finishes it up and adds his own artistic abilities to it. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's just using a tool, just like we use Photoshop, you know what I mean? Or the other. It's going to get to a point where that's just going to be how everybody does stuff. It's going to be the industry standard. And we're going to get so many good projects out of that. And, these AAA game companies, they're going to be in big trouble, you know? I mean, you saw what happened with Amazon. Amazon just fired 15,000 people, and they said that that's only the beginning, that it's probably going to be closer to 30,000 people getting laid off and replaced with AI. Like, it's like one of those things. You remember when in the 90s when internet first came out and the boomers, they're like, oh, this stupid technology won't last and I'm not going to touch it. And like to this day, there's people that don't know how to use the internet. You know, you talk to your parents and they might be in that category. But the internet was here to stay, right? Like, the internet literally changed the way we communicate. Like, instead of using encyclopedias with the door-to-door salespeople, we now use Wikipedia, right? Or we use Google search to do our research. Like, our lives have fundamentally changed how we go about doing our daily research because of the internet. AI is going to be very similar. And if you're in the camp that resists this change and says, I don't like that it's taking jobs, I agree. I think it's terrible that people are losing their jobs. Both things can be true at the same time. It could be terrible that jobs are getting replaced with AI. And it can also be true that this is the future and you have to embrace it. Like, both things can be true. It happened during the Industrial Revolution, you know, when in the 1940s and 50s, they started to create machines, and it put a lot of like handcrafted people out of business because they created more efficiency of just being able to build it in a factory instead of just building it by hand. There's always going to be like a niche way of, like, Etsy, for example. There's people that craft things by hand and they have very successful businesses. Like, there's always going to be that. Like, there's always going to be artists, and there's always going to be people that prefer hand-drawn stuff. But when it comes to mass producing, and especially with game design, it just makes sense to use AI where it makes sense. You still do your own concept art, you still make your own 3D assets, but you're basically asking AI to give me the groundwork, right? So I can take over the wheel later and finish it up, you know, not make the whole game for you, but just help you with some of the steps that normally it would take you 5 hours just to finish shading this in. You can have AI do it in 5 seconds. But yeah, the layoffs, I mean, I hope people are paying attention, because I was expecting this to start happening like in 5 years or 3 years from now. the fact that Amazon is leading the charge, basically, kind of like Nintendo is leading the charge with charging $70 and $80 for games, and Xbox and PlayStation now started copying that. Because Amazon is leading the charge, if they do this successfully, because other companies have tried this already and failed, they've fired like 40% of their workforce and we're going to use AI now, and it was like terrible. They had to rehire the people. But if Amazon pulls this off and proves to the industry that this is something that can be done, that you can streamline your business by eliminating 30% of the workforce, that's a really bad precedent for all the other tech companies. I work for a tech company. It's not pleasant. But and I live my life like this. I try to make everything my fault. Like, I look at my life and I'm like, okay, how is this my situation my fault? What could I do to change my surroundings? Instead of blaming, it's like the finger and the thumb. I have this New Yorker taught me this a long time ago. He's like, you got to treat life. Hey, you got to treat life. New York, yeah, coffee. You got to treat life like the finger and the thumb. You know what I'm saying? The finger and the thumb. When you point at something, you got to look at it as what's your fault and what's my fault. What could I do different? Instead of pointing at something and saying that caused the issue, I always think of the thumb. What could I have done different? That was my New York accent. And it stuck with me, you know what I mean? When you take responsibility and accountability for every single thing in your life, and you take away the blaming the other person and playing the victim role, it makes your life 10x better. Because then it makes you feel like you're actually in control of your own life. You know what I mean? Even like, and obviously I'm not saying everything should be your fault, but the vast majority of things you can say, how could I have had an impact on this to change the outcome, right? And with this AI thing, instead of sitting around and being the victim and complaining about it, you need to ask the question, how can I use this to benefit me as much as I possibly can? Holy crap, Carlos, I need to catch up to your messages. What's crazy is that you can use it, that I was copying is then updating it based on my prompts, then converting that art into a 3D asset. I was messing around with Unreal, working on environments and some 3 assets, kind of what to make my own. He said, I kind of want to make my own MMO now, LOL. Literally Eminem/Pantheon, but darker, more realistic theme. I use AI every day for my job now. Literally removes days, weeks of research into hours. No, yeah, 100%. You know, like if a customer comes to me with a list of addresses and they're handwritten, or they scanned, I hate this, they take a spreadsheet that they could have emailed me, but they scan it and then they send me the JPEG of that. And sometimes they would be like, that's the only copy I have. And I would have to manually type out every single address. Now I just drop it into AI and I'm like, list every single one of these addresses. And then it gives it to me and I copy and paste and keep on with my work. You know, I mean, that's such a simple example, but I think the point of it is using it as a tool and not replacing your thinking, but augmenting your thinking. All right. Gosh. Whoa, wait a minute. 6 damage, 27. 6 damage. Oh, this is pretty nice. Corroded Bronze Scythe versus a Corroded Bronze Warhammer. And that's cheaper too, right? Oh no, Corroded Bronze Scimitar, 7 damage, 34. No good. Corroded Bronze Warhammer, where are you? Okay, so this one is 6 damage, 28 delay. This is 6. So far, the Scythe, man. Let's see what else they got. All of this is 10 silver or more. Tarnish Bronze Maul, that's 7. No, that's a 2-handed weapon. We don't want that. don't need any of this. Okay, so I think we made our decision. So instead of paying 6 silver for this, let's get rid of this. So instead of getting the corroded bronze warhammer, we're gonna get the corroded bronze scimitar. Wait, no, sorry, I almost did the wrong thing. Corroded bronze scythe. Where is it? This one. 3 silver. Dude, that's a steal. Look at that. This is 6 silver. This is 3 silver. And it's got the same damage and it's got better attack delay. Boom. That's why you always got to pay attention to this stuff. Cool. Nice. There we go. Look at that. We're up there, boys. And now we have leftover silver and let's go buy some bags. So 2 silver for a satchel. Okay, boom. I can't get over how good the music is in Faelindral. Robert is a legend. He's a flipping legend. I thought there was an NPC over here I needed. I'm so bad with this. They also updated the VFX for some of the spells. It looks so clean. Yeah, no, the audio effects. So Carlos said Robert did a fantastic job on the music for Eminem. I think the audio effects could use some work, though. Yeah, he's definitely going to continue improving that. it's gonna be hard for people to notice, right? Um, like specifically when it happens, but it's gonna happen. In due time. And again, that's one of those things that once they go into early access, if they have enough people subscribing, they can outsource some of that stuff. Because you're absolutely right. Like, the sound effects are very important because it's going to make combat feel better. It's going to make just the environmental sounds feel better. Like, I was glazing Arc Raiders, and one of the main things that makes Arc Raiders amazing is the sound design. The sound design is the best sound design I've heard in any game. I literally can't think of a game that has better sound design than Arc Raiders. It's just so good. It's so good. And by the way, that's a AAA team. So those are old DICE devs. They made like the original Battlefield 3 or 1942 or something like that. And the only other game, the team that made Arc Raiders, the only other game they made is the Finals, which is that shooting game where it has like destructible buildings, which apparently it's doing really well. Like, people really enjoy that game. I tried it, but I'm not like into shooters like that. Like, my Counter-Strike days are over. I used to play competitively when I was younger, but I'm just like, I'm not good anymore. And I don't like to play something if I like suck, or like I have to be good or I can't have fun type of deal, you know? That's what I like about games like EverQuest, is like, it doesn't discriminate. It's like, you can be absolute dog water but still have fun. Versus if you try that in a game like World of Warcraft, like, you'll never get a group, you'll never go in a dungeon finder. It's like, you have to have the top tier gear, or people will be like, no, you're not welcome in this group, you know? I mean, and to some degree, I'm sure you can run into the same issue in EverQuest if you're like end game rating, but I don't think it's very common. All right. Turn that down a bit. Oops. Okay, I'm out of money. All right. So right now I'm just doing some retail arbitrage. Sometimes you can find merchants where if you buy items from them, you can buy low and sell high. So since there's a specific merchant, and this is me just talking to some people that might not have tried Monsters and Memories, you can't just sell all your loot to a single merchant. Like, you can, but they're not going to pay full price. If you want to get full price for your loot, if you're selling a sword, you want to go to a weapons merchant. If you want to sell armor, you got to go to armor merchant. So there are some merchants that are just like shady merchants, kind of like, if you think of it from like a lore perspective, like those old folk stories about gypsies, like those wandering caravans. So like, you can find a merchant like that buy a bunch of random stuff for low, and then you can go to like a weaponsmith or an armor smith and sell said items at a higher price. So it's pretty cool. Carlos said, New World, it has the best MMORPG sound design out there, in my opinion. Yeah, that's the benefit of a AAA studio. You know, it's like if they figured out how to monetize without egregious pay to win monetization, I mean, we could have some pretty nice games. And honestly, like New World, from what I hear, became very good. Like the current state of New World apparently is basically fun, fixed, good. And they literally announced this week that they're shutting the game down. Like it will still be playable, but it's on life support. They're no longer releasing updates for it. No new expansions. They're gonna keep it in maintenance mode, and that's it. Rest in peace, New World. And that game is what, only 3 or 4 years old? 4 years old? 5, maybe 5? It's actually crazy. What do you sell? Adventure gear? Oh, okay. Nothing I need. All right, so let's tattered belt. How much is this? Oh, 1A. We don't need that. Tattered cloth shirt. Wait, maybe I should wear this. Oh, heck no. Nope. Not doing it. All right. Sell. Sell. Sell, 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 sell. Okay, we sold all that. Dude, am I tripping? Wasn't this so... Oh, he's right here. There you go. Okay. Sell, 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 sell. So here's a good example. A few minutes ago, I bought this bow for 25 copper, and now I'm selling it for 37 copper. So that's what I mean by retail arbitrage. So there you go. There you go. All right, guys, it is 3 in the morning. I know some of you might say, but Class&Cool, you've barely done a thing. That's not true. We gained a few bubbles, a few blue bubbles. We got ourselves some more cloth armor. We got ourselves an updated scythe. I mean, I'm gonna be doing double the damage I was doing a moment ago. Got to talk to you guys and hang out, and we primed ourselves for the rest of the week. So now that I'm feeling great about M&M, I'm excited to come back tomorrow or the day after, because before this I was questioning of whether or not I was even going to do the playtest, which had nothing against M&M, but I don't know. I was like, I don't know if I can. No, I got stuff to do. And then, nope. Now that I've played this for a little bit, I'm eager and willing to come back and play more Monsters and Memories for the remainder of this 10-day community alpha playtest. So today is November 3rd. The playtest will continue through I think November 10th, but I heard rumors that they extended it, I think, till November 11th or 12th. So if you've never played the game, go to monstersandmemories.com. Go watch some of the dev streams on Twitch. All of the devs, they stream their stuff. And yeah, enjoy yourself. But I appreciate you guys. I know I haven't been on in a while, but I appreciate the people that are here for the live stream and the people that are here for the VODs. All of you guys are awesome. Feel free to leave a comment, say hi, say whatever you normally say. If you're new and you like classic MMORPGs or you like variety content, I haven't really posted much variety, but I do plan on doing things besides just classic MMORPGs. I mean, if it's fun, I'll probably try it, but I'm not gonna just become like a COD streamer or something like that. That would be kind of lame. It's not what I'm about. I'm a casual dude. I don't game a lot, so when I do game, it's probably because it's something really good, like Arc Raiders, right? So, anywho, I appreciate you. I'll see you guys in the next one. Dan Molina, have a great night. Monk Beans, Juster, you and I got to get on later this week whenever you come back. Hopefully you're like closer to level 4 and we can just group up and mow some things down, or I can make the boat trip to Night Harbor and we can meet up there. That's cool too. So later, homie. Carlos, thanks for being here, brother. Great conversation. Vontae, I know you're gone, but have a great night. And am I forgetting anyone? Oh, the Yuzu man. Hopefully, if he's watching this with subtitles, he sees that I'm acknowledging him. But I need to fix that for next time, so that anyone that's hearing impaired can also hear what's going on or read what's going on. So, cool. Yeah, this was a very light stream. Nothing too crazy. But I hope you guys had a great time. So, see you on the next one.